Justin Hawkins rides again. Good day to you. It is I, Justin Hawkins. This is Justin Hawkins Rides Again, my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe and sign up for the alerts. If you're wondering why I'm all dressed up, it's because I have to go to the electricians after this. I'm searching for a really, really long HDMI cable, and yeah, this is my going to the electrician's outfit. Don't leave the house very often, too busy doing this stuff. Today's also an exciting day because it's Comments Day, wherein I read your missives and react to them. A lot of people say to me, oh, you know, you shouldn't waste your time with the haters, mate. It's a waste of energy. But actually, I don't think that's true. I think if you're a self-aware person, the hate and the reason why people dismiss you and those things can be hurtful, but only on the occasions when you kind of agree with them. And if you don't agree with them, it's worth entering debate in the hope that it's not just trolls. I mean, I think it's wrong to dismiss people as trolls, really. I think trolling is an art form in itself. And if what I'm doing here can help them to be better at it, then everybody wins. Anyway, here we go. Right, the first one, Queen Vic 2. Hi, Queen Vic 2. She says, 100% thought it was James Blunt with long hair. I'm so sorry, Justin. Oh. Well, James Blunt and the Darkness were label mates at the beginning of our journey, and he and I have hung out and partied many times. He's a good guy. I really like him. But he's got blue eyes. He looks completely different to me. And I don't think he has a moustache. But maybe you can't see this because it's not as, I don't know, impressive as I thought it was. Anyway, no need to apologise. It's at best it's observational humour. At worst it's just mistaken identity. Don't worry about it. Otis B. Driftwood says, what irony. Mortloaf dies, but Justin Hawkins still lives and is still living off the back of his comedy stroke novelty band, full stop. Okay, I don't think Otis knows what irony means, so I shall endeavour to educate him. Otis, when you say irony and then you say Mortloaf dies, but Justin Hawkins still lives, that particular definition of irony that you're referring to is the one where a set of circumstances or an event or something is the opposite of what you're expecting, contrary to your, what you thought was going to happen, the opposite does. So you thought that I was going to die before Meatloaf. That's what you're saying is ironic, I think. Meatloaf, of course, being 28 years older than me, and probably a lot of other factors that we won't go into now, but I'm going to guess that you're not a doctor, are you? Not that there's anything wrong with that. We all have our own path. Don't worry about it. It's all cool. But I'm surprised that you thought I would die before Meatloaf. I'm sure a few other people will be as well. Then you go on to say, and is still living off the back of his comedy stroke novelty band. I think the word comedy, I don't think is the hammer blow that you anticipate. We don't classify ourselves as a comedy band, but we're happy if people come to Darkness shows and have a laugh or find something amusing in the lyrics. I mean, I've always got off on clever lyrics, and usually that means that they're making me laugh in a certain way. And I include people like Leonard Cohen in that, and also the obvious sort of comedic rock lyric touchstones that you might find in something like Queen, or the innuendo of AC/DC, or even the sort of bawdiness of Steven Tyler's lyrics. Some of these things are designed to be laughed at, and if that makes it comedy, then that's okay, really. The other thing is, a band doesn't categorize itself if it's doing a genuinely creative venture. It's in the same way that a temporary secretary might see an envelope and it's an invoice from the insurance company. I'll pigeonhole this over here in the pending payments department. The correspondence itself doesn't do the pigeonholing. It's the temporary secretary. So here you are the temporary secretary, metaphorically, and if it helps you to find the darkness and the work of the darkness in your mind palace by categorizing us as comedy, that's no problem for me. I don't mind. Novelty, I also don't think that's a hammer blow. If you look up the definition of novelty, you'll find that it means anything that is new or unusual. The Darkness has been going for 22 years, so I'd say we're probably, if we are a novelty still, and still making a living out of a comedy stroke novelty band, then it's not the newness that makes it novelty, it's the unusualness. And I've never craved normality, or the opposite of novelty, which is conservatism or conservative. I don't think that's something that would excite me musically. I'd rather do something else other than music than do normal music, as it were. So it's a good observation. It probably is novelty in the sense that it's unusual. I'm glad that you recognise that, to be honest. Here's another definition of irony. Irony as a sort of rhetoric, literary device is when a character in like a play or in a story of any sort really does something or says something and is unaware of the wider consequences or meaning of what they've said. Whereas the audience is. That's called irony. So, for example, when you leave a shitty remark in the comment section of what is actually a tribute to an artist that recently passed away, you think you're being really clever and snidey and cool, but the wider audience thinks that it's the desperate act of a horrible person, or it might be they might think that your moral compass should be recalibrated, or they just think you're a fucking dumbass. But you don't, you see. So that's irony. I happen to think that you're going to learn from this and do better. I think you're going to improve. And I really look forward to hearing from you again. So thank you very much. Those words I just said there about looking forward to hearing from you again, that's another definition of irony. That's when an utterance is made, but the meaning of the utterance is the opposite of what the words themselves say. It's a little bit like sarcasm. So I hope you've learnt something, and off you fuck. Cheers. Right, next. Kev O says, I've got to be honest, I preferred your old teeth. I think you're a good guy, Justin, and me and my daughter bonded over the Growing On Me video. The song was great, and my daughter loved the giant pink teddy. Okay, that's cool. Thanks, Kev. Just so you know, these are the same teeth. They are the old teeth. They're just in a different place. When I was a kid, I always wanted to have braces because people would tease me for my, unsightly mouth contents, which sort of resembled an abandoned graveyard. And then as we got older and successful, it was kind of like the press were using it as a stick to beat me with, and it was really pissing me off because I didn't want these teeth, and I never asked to have bad teeth. I didn't feel like it was something that I wanted to have define me. So as soon as I could afford it and I had some time to do it, I went and changed them. And I appreciate you for saying that you liked it before, but I don't really think going back to that is an option for me now. So we're just going to have to come to terms with the teeth as they are. But thank you for your comment. I'm glad that you and your daughter enjoyed the music and everything. Cheers. Craig Duncan says, could just call this Justin Hawkins overthinks shit. That's pretty good. Justin Hawkins overthinks shit on YouTube. Yeah, it works. Not bad. I think we'll stick with the other one though. It's all right. Vednev says, I really respect your opinions, man, and you're actually making me a better songwriter with the way you break down music. Keep killing it, brother. Nice one, Ved. Appreciate that. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's like all it is opinions, really. I don't have the vocabulary necessary to really get into the what's it called, the theory of everything. That's that movie, isn't it, about Stephen Hawkins? But yeah, I do try, and it's great that you appreciate it. Thanks, Ved. Nice one. Chris One Kent came in to say, Tim Pierce just mentioned you on his channel. He admires your guitar skills. Yeah, I know Tim pretty well, actually. I've worked with him on the Meatloaf stuff and Adam Lambert stuff. He is an all-time legend of a guitar player, and when I was working with him, he was so kind to me as well. Like he allowed me to play his 1959 Les Paul through his gear and his rig and everything, and he just couldn't have been more accommodating, encouraging, and I learnt a hell of a lot from him. He's got a brilliant YouTube channel, which is, if you're into music or especially guitars, you should go and check him out. We'll put a link to his channel in the description of this video. He is awesome, and thank you, Tim Pierce, and thanks, Chris Kent. Nice one. Really appreciate it. Okay, so the next one, Red Eye Stone says, I don't think people hate you. They just hate how you sing falsetto all the time and without any soul. Interesting. Just hitting the notes is difficult, this is true. but to sing without soul isn't enjoyable to listen to. To each their own. Some people like Iron Maiden. I never did, because the vocals literally sound like a parody to me. Horrible sound. I love the music of your band, and this channel is pretty damn good. So hard to hate, but also the fact that you said I like shitty comments and the fact that you take your time to perpetuate this is kind of gross. I was actually a fan before this video made me unsubscribe. Have a good one, man. See, this is what's called passive-aggressive trolling, like when they sort of try and make a sandwich with some positive things and then put some really shitty stuff in the middle, ultimately. I see what you're doing, Red Eye Stones. First of all, how do you judge how much soul? I put heart and soul into absolutely everything I do, including this YouTube channel, funnily enough. It's actually the reason why I think it's important to engage with the hate and also the positive stuff, because rightly or wrongly, I think it all has merit. And when somebody says something that actually hurts you, it's usually because you kind of agree with it a little bit. It's important to understand those things and be self-aware. But if you're going to assess something on how much soul is in it, then you have to be a spiritual medium. These are the only people with the gift to actually make an assessment like that. Anyway, sing about soul. Channel is pretty damn good. Thank you very much. So hard to hate. Fair enough. I like the shitty comment. Well, I mean, but presumably making a shitty comment like this is the reason why you know I'm going to engage with it. So I think you're inviting a dialogue, sort of, but then you say, I was actually a fan before this video made me unsubscribe. Now, it saddens me that you've unsubscribed. And what I always do when I hear that someone's done that is I light a candle in their honour. And I just take a moment of silent contemplation. Goodbye, Red Eye Stones. See you elsewhere on the internet. Of course I don't do that. Off you fuck! Jesus! Okay, right, next. I watch these and feel happy. Is there a better compliment? Keep it up. That's the whole point! We're trying to brighten people's days and hopefully, you know, upset some people who actually deserve it. Or something. I don't know what we're doing here. How do you feel about rhyming lazy with rabies? Because you've sent me into a tailspin of doubt about my own lyrics. I didn't mean to do that, actually. I think lazy and baby is no better or worse than lazy and rabies. I think that it's the B sound that concerns me, really. If you're not trying to rhyme, you just want two things that sort of sound phonetically a little bit similar, that's no problem. Nothing has to rhyme. It's just that for my own personal preference. And again, this is an opinion. It's completely and utterly subjective. I don't expect anybody else to share my kind of anal retentiveness when it comes to lyrics, but that's just the way I feel. And as this is how I'm going to express it on my channel. Julian Megson says, I did like and subscribe, by the way, but not because you said so. All right. Julian, you are your own person, and I'm so pleased that you've decided to join this community. I must bid you adieu and be away to the electrician. Once I have that extra long HDMI cable, things will be much more smooth around here. So, Justin Hawkins writes again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, sign up for the alerts, and watch one of these two videos. Cheers, everyone. See you later.